Good afternoon, it's Robert Miller with Sea Days. I wanted to take a moment to talk about a little bit of an odd subject, which is my toiletry packing for this 14-day cruise, which is way different than what I would normally do on a 7-day cruise, and I'll explain that as we go. Okay, so I'm just going to use a basic toiletry bag. There are some nicer options, a little larger, a little more luxurious. This works fine for me, but there are some other options if you want something a little fancier, but I'm very happy with this. Okay, so I've got a basic first aid kit, and I've supplemented it with additional Band-Aids because we are going to be gone longer. Band-Aids, ointments, alcohol wipes, just kind of beefed it up a little bit. So it's just a basic first aid kit that we'll take along on any hikes or anything that we do. Also have my cough drops, some antibiotics, hydrocortisone, and normally I would take for sunblock just a small tube about the size of this one, but again, we're gone for 14 days, so I'm taking a larger tube. And because it's larger, this is going to all be on my checked luggage, not my carry-on. So that's another thing that's different this time. I would normally maybe use it as a carry-on, but in this case, it's going to be checked luggage. Again, I'll be bringing along allergy meds, pain relief, melatonin in case there's a sleep issue at all. And so all of those things will be included. Now, the soaps, shampoos, conditioners, I spend a lot of time working on my hair. Okay, I don't really at all. However, normally what I would do is I would shave closely my mustache and my beard. I would give myself a haircut. I haven't paid for a haircut in a couple of decades, I'll be honest. I cut my own because it's a very simple process. Takes me, 5 minutes at the most. But in this case, normally on a 7-day cruise, I would just simply give myself a haircut and trim, and I would be good to go for 7 days. I would need to attack it when I got back home, but I would make it for the 7 days. Well, I'm going to be gone 14 days, so that's going to totally change the situation. So, in that case, I'm actually going to have to bring along my trimming tools, and I'm going to have to, at some point, give myself a haircut. So I'm also going to have to bring my my cutter for my hair and the cleaning apparatus for that. Same goes for shaving. Normally, I would just have one razor, a brand new one, and that would last me the 7 days. It's not going to work for 14 days. So I am going to have to take extra razors, because I'm going to have to change it within that 14-day period. So again, that's a change that I would normally not have to deal with on a 7-day cruise. Odds and ends, again, these are items that are going to be a pain to try to pick up on board, so you want to make sure you have them, like Q-tips, a lint brush, shoehorn, earplugs. Earplugs come in handy. All these items you want to make sure you pack along with you so that you're not having to try to get them out of the sundry store or on board. All right, moving on, again, a difference for a 14-day cruise versus 7, making sure I have full packs of floss, picks, a full tube of toothpaste. Normally I'd just do a small travel size. That won't be enough for a 14-day cruise, especially if I'm sharing it with Julia. So I need a full-size tube. Also, I would fully charge my toothbrush before I left, and it would last the 7 days. That won't work. So I also have to bring my charger with me. So that's another change that has to be made. For my wet items, I don't want them spilling off everything else in the bag, so I keep them in a plastic bag. So that includes my colognes, underarm, and bug spray. We want to make sure those are in a waterproof bag so that if something happens and they end up spilling, breaking, they're not going to get all over everything else. All right, let's talk medications. Learn the hard way that you want to make sure you have a full allotment of medication. So I'm going to call in my prescriptions about 5 days before we're leaving. And I've talked to the pharmacist already. She's pretty confident that they'll go ahead and refill them early for me so that I have a full complement of all my prescriptions. And fortunately, I have a 14-day that we'll use for vitamins. The vitamin pack that I normally use, I just fill it up each week, but it's full. So I wouldn't be able to put double into this, but fortunately I have a 14-day, so I'll be using this for all of my vitamins. And then I'll still use a 7-day on board for my daily medications, but I have my full allotment so that in case something happens where we're detained for any reason, I've got plenty of medication. I don't have to worry about scrambling to get a prescription filled in another town. Okay, that kind of covers everything that's going to be different this time on what I'm packing in my toiletry bag. If you have any comments, questions, please give me an email or a comment, and I'll try to get those answered for you. Or if you have any experiences going on extended length cruises and how you dealt with the need for larger quantities of products for a longer period of time, please let us know and share that with us. All right, that's all for now. We'll see you again soon. It's not going to work for 14 days. So in this case, I'm going to have to cut. Dang it.
The cat?
Yes.